Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. Did you miss us? We certainly miss you. The World Cup is down to the final two teams tonight. I think the USA as a country were pretty good hosts. And, this is Spitface. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we have been a very gracious host for the World Cup. And it's been an exciting World Cup, too. It's a shame that we got to wait another 4 years, but it is what it is.
Yeah, hey, like I said, I think the USA did pretty good. The only complaint I heard that was like kind of was around with a high price. And I'm like, look, we can't help you. We can't help you on that one, you know. But I know them stadium drinks and munchies, they be charged. And this week on Shout Out, we have performances from Joey Doyles. We'll be fine this shining star. Get the cold feel of the mute button. First Lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. We are talking about the ESPYs flapping their wings to get away from the backlash to the performance by the Savannah Bananas. Opening act controversy. The Savannah Bananas kicked off the ESPYs with a song and dance routine, sparking outrage from fans and commentators who felt it detracted from honoring real sports achievements. Celebrity criticism. Dave Portnoy and Clay Travis publicly slammed the performance, with Portnoy's profanity-laced rant going viral and fueling online debate. Popularity versus tradition. Despite backlash, the Bananas remain a sellout sensation with their fast-paced banana ball format, blending baseball with entertainment to attract new fans. George Foreman, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, both rest in peace, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Well, Spitface, I'm not going to lie. I didn't know anything about this Savannah Bananas. And what's interesting, I actually watched the ESPYs, and I saw the routine. So you know what? I didn't think anything of it. I just thought it was entertainment. I mean, it is an award show, the ESPYs. Do you think they're just going to get up there and have people giving awards and talk? They have to have some entertainment. That's why they have a host. The host does his little skits. You remember LeBron James hosted one year, and he had a whole bunch of different skits. Every host performs skits. So it is an award show. We do honor traditional athletes and all that, but there has to be some type of entertainment also. All award shows have entertainment, as part of the award show. So now, as far as the Savannah Bananas, I looked into them, and you know what it reminds me of? I'm going to compare them to another type of entertainment and skill performance type of show. The Harlem Globetrotters. The Harlem Globetrotters pretty much was doing the same thing the Savannah Bananas do. I mean, they turn athletes into entertainers. They mix elite athletic skill with comedy. Okay? They encourage fan interaction and, throughout their event. And guess what? They do sell out in arenas. So, I mean, that's what the Harlem Globetrotters did. Now, originally, a lot of people, I might be wrong about this. I remember the history of the whole Harlem Globetrotters. A lot of the black basketball players had joined the Globetrotters because they couldn't play in the white leagues. I think that's what happened originally with the Harlem Globetrotters. But then it did turn into more of an entertainment squad after, obviously, they integrated the NBA with white players, or I forgot the former league before the NBA. But anyway, I mean, we all know the Harlem Globetrotters is a theatrical exhibition. Now, the Savannah Bananas, they actually have that banana ball, and they do have other teams that they perform against. Remember, the Harlem Globetrotters, they only performed against the Senators. And guess what? They beat the Senators every day. Every time they beat the Senators. I think the Senators may have beaten them a couple of times. They lost, so I don't even remember what the record was. But anyway, that wasn't the main purpose of the Globetrotters. But anyway, you know what? When I listen to these critics talking about the Savannah Bananas, I mean, really? I mean, come on. I mean, the Barstool guy, Portnoy, I mean, really? Why are you ripping them? You act like the whole show was about them. They just did an opening act. That's all they did was the opening act. The problem with baseball is not attracted by the younger audience like it used to. That's the real problem with baseball. So maybe if you have these type of gimmicks, maybe it will bring younger people back to watching baseball. Yes, the traditionalists say it's sports. You know, we have to focus on the competition. You know, the awards should award the best athletes and not no viral entertainment. I mean, come on. They did that. They had entertainment, and they still awarded the athletes. And let me just say, my Knicks swept every award that they were nominated for. They swept out everything. But anyway, it was the year of the Knicks. But anyway, and so you have those traditionalists, but then you got the people who support the the Savannah Bananas because it's entertainment and sports mixed together. You know what? I'm going to look them up myself because I might try to see where they're performing. I wouldn't mind going see them play a game or two. All right, what's your assessment about this whole situation?
First off, I go David Portnoy and Clay Travis. Are really some stand-up guys for people around the world. They fit into the category of that group of folks who, when anyone of color does something different that becomes popular, they're against. They're right away against. It ain't Cheryl. And, we used to say back in the day, check their neck and see how red it is in the back. That's an old comment. You might have to add, some of the listeners may have to ask grandpa or grandma what that means. but First Lady, what's that odor? You know what? It smells like racist. It kind of smelled like racist. It seemed like these the same guys who were upset with Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl. So it seemed like these the same kind of, as you said, First Lady, it is entertainment. And as far as breaking tradition, no gimmicks, I seem to remember a certain owner from the who in baseball who owned a team called the White Sox and was known for gimmicks, like putting a midget. He had a midget on the team. You know how hard it got to be to pitch to a midget? And then he had this one cat, I think he led the league in walks or something for years, and they said they stopped giving him a baseball bat and just gave him a walking stick. So, it's been gimmicks. but baseball ain't pure. And then a lot of things that occurred in the Negro leagues were much more entertaining than what was going on in the quote major leagues. So David Portnoy and Clay Travis need to just go ahead and admit that their asses is racist, and leave folk alone. And leave what sport did they do? What did they play something? And now, but I will tell you, First Lady, what would kind of make me go, is if they had if the pickleball champion had been on the show. Now that might have made me go, the pickleball champion? More so than the Savannah Bananas, And but First Lady, I'm going to when you get tickets, grab me one. Grab me. I want to check them out too. Grab me one, First Lady. All right. That's all I'm saying about the Savannahs.
Okay, well, it seems like they've been around, look like since 2022. I was trying to see 2022. So, I mean, why all of a sudden now they start because they made it to the ESPYs? I mean, really? I mean, like you said, anytime there's a difference or a change, people got to have a problem with it. But, I mean, that small opening act they did really did not distract from a very fabulous show. The ESPYs are a type of show, I tell you, when they give out those honorary awards like the Jim Valhalla Award, the Arthur Ashe Award. Every year I cry with the ESPYs. Every single year I cry with the ESPYs. And I thought I was going to make it through because, the first two, were good. But when they got to, oh, my gosh, I even forgot his name right now. The guy who came out as, he was the first active player to come out as gay. The Twins.
How the NBA. Jason.
Yeah, Jason Collins. Jason Collins. That's what I actually had to cry, and I thought I would make it through because But anyway, it didn't work. But every year they have some sad sob stories with the ESPYs. ESPYs is a great show, and I like it. So anyway, all right, Spitface, over to you.
All right, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers to bed, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go, boom. Explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm powering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced and diced. Competition, paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We are talking about the knockout punch to one of the World Cup finals. Will the winner be Argentina or Spain? Team USA didn't make it, and unfortunately, due to President Trump, they were a little shamefaced, not because of their performance, but because of Trump's meddling and desire to brag about calling the fight for president concerning a red card given to a Team USA player. Argentina and Spain have both won the World Cup. Is there a fan favorite in the USA? Does the success of the World Cup in the USA put pressure on the LA Olympics to perform exceptionally well? Lee Royce, Satchel Paige, Walter Buck Leonard, and James Cool Papa Bell are asking, what you saying? First Lady, Team USA really had a great World Cup. They really, really did. And no one was, well, I won't say no one, but people weren't lining up to put money on that they would be the last, one of the last two teams standing, I mean, I know there's some diehard Team USA folks, but they were not lining up in Vegas to put big dollars on it. And I do think that the president, I think someone said everything he touches dies. Let's give the other team extra inspiration to beat you. like Team USA needed that. And, they themselves, they may not have liked the decision, but they weren't whining and griping and, well, we need somebody, we don't need an investigation. It's the game. It's the rule. We didn't like it, but we willing to take it. No. Mr. Orange Hair got to come into the picture. I called to fight for president. I just told him I had a concern. Dude, that I'm just glad that didn't. You know what I like is I'm just glad the Australians showed their response to him by mocking his dance routine, and to me, that kind of said it all, because that kind of said that, you know what, we don't like him, but that's different from us not liking the American people. So I think these folks around the world are going, now we y'all were tripping. Y'all put him in, but they ain't mad at him. Other than, other than, I think it's some Canadians who are a little bit upset at the moment, but we'll get them back. We'll, buy some maple syrup or something. All right. But now it's going to be big pressure, but on LA for the Olympics, because that's not spread around 3 different countries. That's it, the LA. And they done had the wildfires. They got, LA got some issues. So to really, and the Olympics to me is big. I know the World Cup is World Cup, but the Olympics that they gonna have to do some work, and they got a lot of pressure on them, because fortunately, as far as the hotels, restaurants, all that stuff, everybody came out a little bit ahead. Not as good as they wanted, but LA, y'all need to bring them bucks in. And like I say, they got issues, the environment, what's going to happen. So it might be a little bit touchy on this lady. What you saying?
Well, I really am not going to talk about the orange man. I was going to ignore that whole part. Yeah, he messed things up for the United States, and even the player that was suspended from the game even spoke about it, how that really changed the overall mindset of the players on the team. Because I guess they had planned not to play without him, and then he was brought back in. So he said it kind of disrupted their mindset, basically, is what he said, and he knew that, people were going to be against it. But anyway, part of this is like, who the United States, who should be the fan favorite in the United States between Spain and Argentina? First of all, the World Cup has been fabulous this year. I mean, the games have been really great games. Argentina, come on now. They escaped basically 4 straight losses. They had the comeback kids. They remind me of the Knicks, to be honest with you. The Argentina team reminds me so much of what the Knicks did. So, but, the question is, like I said, who would be the fan favorite in the U.S.? And I said in the U.S. there's going to be different fan favorites based on the type of fan. And, for example, as a Black American, I'm not rooting for Argentina, to be honest with you. Even though Messi plays for my local MLS team, the International Miami, I'm not rooting for them because they don't have any Black players on their team. There's Afro-Black people. I know they don't have a high percentage of Black. I think they said it's only like 1% of Africans in Afro-Latinos in Argentina. But there's a reason why, because there's been ongoing issues in Argentina with systemic racism. Historically, their government has basically minimized or erased Afro-Argentines and the indigenous population in favor of their white European identity, national identity. So, I'm turning into a political situation. So that's the reason why I will be rooting for Spain. I've been to Spain. I've been to Barcelona, very nice country. So, the question is, who would most Latin Americans in the United States be rooting for? They're going to be rooting for Spain also, because a lot of the Latin Americans in other countries, and, these people are here in the United States, and we have several Latinos in the United States, they really feel that the players and the fans of Argentina, they're very arrogant, and they think they're elitist. So, that's why many of the fans are going to be rooting for the Spain team. And they also feel when it gets down to the actual soccer, and these things, I would say it's more about the soccer, too, than it is about social issues, even though there are some, some fans feel their Argentina political views of class and race is an issue for Latin Americans, but especially people in Brazil. But it's about the football, because these teams, Latin countries, are always pitted against each other. They play each other, so there's very strong rivalries over the years. And that's why I said it's really deeply rooted in the rivalries versus the social issues. And, a lot of people feel Argentina, they receive more favorable calls from the refs. So, they're the bad guys to most Latin Americans. They are the bad guys. So they're going to be rooting for Spain. The majority of all the Latino countries are rooting for Spain. Now, the only people probably rooting for Argentina is the people in South Florida, minus the First Lady, for a sports star. I won't be rooting for it, but everybody in South Florida will be rooting for the Argentina team because of Messi. Messi, his involvement with International Miami, he is brought a championship here in the MLS where we didn't even have an MLS team. David Beckham from England, he brought the International Miami here, and they built a new arena by the airport, which I don't understand why they would build an arena right smack near the airport. So, they didn't realize that we get enough traffic going to the airport in general, and you're going to put a soccer stadium. But anyway, I digress. I don't want to talk about that. That's a big issue with me. But anyway, I just think that they will be rooting for Argentina. Now, as far as the Olympics, it's going to be harder for the Olympics than it would be for the World Cup, because you remember the World Cup was spread among different cities within the United States, whereas the Olympics is just going to be in the Los Angeles area. So they're going to have to be able to have, it's going to be a lot. You got thousands of sports competition happen simultaneously. You got the athletes. You got to create a village, the Olympic Village operations. You got to have a headquarters for the village. The media. There's so much more to creating an environment for the Olympics than it is for the World Cup. Now, the World Cup, you do have to have transportation, but you just got to make sure the stadium is right. At the Olympics, you got to make sure all the different venues are sufficient in order to host or to have that type of sports event. So that's where it's going to be difficult. And it's all got to be in that Los Angeles area. I'm quite sure some of it will be put in different parts of southern L.A., not particularly in the city of Los Angeles. But, I'm quite sure there's going to be more. It's going to be thousands and millions of people. I would say millions of people coming to the Olympics. And so it's definitely going to be much harder for the L.A., to be exceptionally well. The pressures to me is not whether or not you're going to be able to have the people come and watch the event. To me, it's going to be more of making sure all the venues are great, especially that the housing for the athlete, because every year you hear of horror stories from athletes regarding when they create these villages. They say they're horrible, to be honest, in other countries. So we'll see what the United States can do. I don't remember. I think What was the last time? Was it 1984 the last time the Olympics were here? Or was it in 2000? And was it in the 2000s? I'm trying to remember the last time the Olympics. I remember it was here in the 80s. Was it in 2000? I can't remember right now. But we'll see. I think, United
was the last
States.
One in Atlanta?
That's right. It was in Atlanta. That was exactly. I remember that. Muhammad Ali, and then they had the bomber, the bomber who really wasn't the bomber. I saw that they did a movie on that. You're right. It was in Atlanta. I forgot what year that was, but it was in Atlanta. It must have been in the 1990s, the 90s? I don't remember, but anyway, we'll look it up later. All right. That's all I'm saying, Spitface.
All right. You say they got a tough road to hoe in L.A. to make everything. Another thing, First Lady, is folks can drive to L.A. We got 300 million people that can drive to L.A. So, it's going to be interesting there. And with that said, First Lady, you had the last word. Please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, we have a performance from Joey Doyles on Shout Out Part 1.
Welcome back. The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Joey Doyles.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. We are featuring music from Joey Doyles and his album, Hef 2. They say, quote, Joey Doyles is an independent recording artist, entrepreneur, and the founder of Get Money, Give Love, LLC, known for blending ambition, authenticity, I can't pronounce it, and cinematic storytelling. I'm in trouble this morning with my mouth. Storytelling, Joey creates music that reflects growth, resilience, and real-life experiences. Let's hear Nobody.
I gave a lot to this game, I asked for nothing back. Free the real, kill the rats while we let it stack. They took my little brother from me, he ain't coming back. But best believe we gon' run it back. Buckley when I ran the rock, never got nobody knocked before they raid, I switch the spots. Never conversate with cops, gotta treat them like the ops. Soft land, we get it chopped, broke niggas get a job. All these rappers share the vibe, how you want it dead alive, I'll show it with your mother lie. Competition pedophile, how you niggas still alive? Fuck how you feel inside, hating cause I'm still that guy, I swear I make they heart cry. I really got an Iowa Hawkeye, you wanna go where I set you up with a tour guide. DR poolside, big booties, boob jobs. Now I'm back in the States, my lawyers clocking the case, my bitches is losing faith. Hear a lot of talking, but they ain't busting the grape. Majority of them fake, why would I ever wait? The time is now. Hef, nigga. What else? Yo, I say my grace before I start to eat. It's been a minute since I got some sleep. I listen good before I'm about to speak. If it ain't about money, keep it brief. I really gotta show these people who they came to see. If you aiming for the crown, you can aim at me. Who better than Hef? Nobody. Pull up in that low body, aka low rider. Backseat smoking L's, no driver. Hef, nigga. I put myself in position, I couldn't get him to listen. I told him I'd do it different. Went straight to the spot and started bleaching the kitchen. That ain't a part of my vision, but you get it how you living. All the cars I done driven, all the bras I done been in. Baby, they all confused, I didn't come here to lose. I suggest you don't move or you gon' end up on the news. Dope boy dripping in them diamonds and them jewels. Born real meeting with a change of jewels. Now the teachers tell the students that they taught me in school. Same teachers used to tell me I was nothing in school. Miss Brown, I can't get out of the pool. If you know, you know. I ain't going for the okie doke. Almost died a couple of times, that's why I live life to the fullest. Don't mess around and get your name up on the bullet. If you know, you know. 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 Don't mess around and get your name up on the bullet. Get money, get love. Who better than heaven? Nobody. Nobody.
All right. So you know what his bio did says he was known for blending ambition, authenticity, because I couldn't pronounce it earlier, and cinematic storytelling. And Joey did that. I really did. I kind of like I like the rapping on Joey and the story he was telling. So I'm going to definitely shout it out, the Nobody song. I thought the production was pretty good, and he's a good rapper, very good rapper. So I'm definitely shouting out. Spitface, you hitting the mute button, or you shouting it out?
I'm going to shout it out. I think my man is a A1 rapper. And I want to hear the next track to see if he got some versatility. But I got to hand it to him. He an A1 rapper. But we shall see. We shall see. Shout out.
All right. Well, on part 2 of Shout Out, we will be featuring another performance from Joey Doyles. Speaking of performances, is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
They call him Flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see is smarter than he. And we know Flipper lives in a world full of wonder, lying there under the sea.
All right. It is time for Flip It, while hosts defend the view and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. The NFL preseason is right around the corner. I think training camp opens in about a week. Should Cleveland fans be excited about the impending quarterback duel between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders? Defend. A quarterback duel between a guy that hasn't played in years and a promising young potential franchise QB is scary, not exciting. First Lady, I didn't even look it up, but I'm going, Deshaun Watson hasn't played in 1, 2, at least 3 years. And it's been a long time since he was breaking records and looking like the Michael Jordan, the future Michael Jordan of the NFL. That time has passed. The problem for the Cleveland Browns is they gave him a boatload of money and never ever found out was he really worth it. Now they got Shedeur Sanders on the cheap. They got him on the cheap. The boy got skills. Now, will he manifest into a franchise QB? That is to be seen. But he's got 1 year in. This would be his first season as a starter to see what you got. And now you're talking about Deshaun Watson. If I'm a Cleveland fan, I'm scared of what Cleveland. Well, I guess really, if you're a Cleveland fan, you just need to be perpetually scared of what management is going to do around quarterbacks. Because, like I said, it's not exciting. We're not like, ooh, Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders. we're like, oh no, what disaster is waiting? First Lady, defend.
It's a scary, scary situation because both quarterbacks are question marks. I mean, like you have the one trying to basically rediscover a career that like has been derailed because of off the field issues and 2 injuries. He hasn't played consistently at a high level in years between the injuries, suspensions, and just a long time away from football. Nobody really knows what version of him is going to be able to show up. Can he still make elite throws? Is he still healthy? Can he stay healthy? Can he regain his mobility? I mean, these are unanswered questions, so we don't know anything about those Deshaun Watson. Matter of fact, to me, Deshaun Watson, to me, is more of an issue than it is Shedeur Sanders, because at least we did know what Shedeur could do at a reduced level last year, and what he did wasn't all that spectacular either. That's the other issue. That's why it's another scary thing. He's trying to prove that he belongs in the NFL. So Shedeur, he's a projection. He has talent, very confident, very arrogant confidence. His accuracy is pretty decent, and his leadership traits, but he hasn't really been able to be that exciting quarterback that the Browns need. And it was their own fault because they should have started him from the beginning. They started that other quarterback. You didn't hear anything about the other quarterback. Did they release that other quarterback that they drafted before? The one that they drafted before Shedeur? It's very interesting anise.
Yeah,
but how
what's his name?
Yeah, whatever his name is. But anyway, but this is horrible, really, when you think about it for the Browns fans, because who are you going to root for? Really, who are you going to root for? It's scary because both of them are unknown. You really don't know what to expect, and you got to believe that this is going to cause divide in the locker room and the fan base. Especially if Watson. I think they had said Watson is 1A right now because he's going to have a chance to get his starting job back. But it is going to be a competition. But if Watson struggles earlier and Sanders struggled early too, what they going to do? Who are they going to replace them by? So this franchise, it's a shame they're hanging on the balance of Watson, who might not be the answer, and Sanders, who doesn't, he really doesn't show that it factor to be that franchise quarterback. So it's scary, man. It is really, really scary. It's scary because the competition really is basically from being uncertain. There's some uncertainty regarding this franchise and this competition. Very scary.
All right. Very, very scary. Well, we're going to flip the script because this is flip it. If Deshaun Watson can bring some of that magic back, it could be a duel to be the first Cleveland QB to have a winning season since Baker Mayfield. What excitement. On the other side of scary is excitement. So it's a little scary. It's like a roller coaster ride. And one thing that I'll say is good is competition. It's competition. When you got to get out there, you got to compete, and you got some real competition, it's either do or die. You either do the damn thing or you fade on out. So, hey, all right, Shedeur, you know what the competition is. Step on up to the plate. Deshaun Watson, you know that Shedeur Sanders is over here. You ain't done crap in the last 4 years. This is either the end of the road or it's a new beginning. So, there's some excitement that the Cleveland fans, got to have around this court. This ain't the usual quarterback competition where it's a bunch of scrubs. You got a guy who did go to the Pro Bowl. It may have been years, but he did. And if he can bring back a little bit of that magic, there could be a real competition, and that's what excites. Because if there's a real competition, whoever win at the end, they got a shot. They got a shot. First Lady, defend.
Yeah. I mean, what's exciting? I mean, if Deshaun Watson can recapture even a glimpse of the quarterback he was among the NFL elites, the Browns could have one of the most fascinating quarterback competitions in football. Yeah, because instead of because if Shador can even develop quickly and prove he's a franchise quarterback, I mean, you got Watson, who can make a great comeback, and then you got Shador, who you can see to elevate his game. I mean, that's very exciting to the Cleveland fans. I mean, you have a veteran trying to reclaim his career while Shador attempts to prove he is a franchise quarterback of the future. I mean, the stakes couldn't be higher with this situation. So that does bode well for an exciting competition. I mean, Watson could silence his critics that really prove that he can come back, where a lot of people feel that he can't come back. They feel that his career is over. And Shador, people are still saying he is not all that. I mean, he did have, some signs of improvement last year, but he really didn't get enough chance to do it. But he's legit. Can he prove that he's a legit quarterback, franchise player? I mean, if Watson magically returns, it's not going to be scary anymore. This is going to be an intriguing storyline, Spitface. I mean, we got Watson making a great comeback, Shador improving and being better. I mean, what more can you want? That you want competition at its best level, and that would be competition at its best level. So, I mean, if everything works out the way it's supposed to, Cleveland fans, you guys are going to be excited to see this competition come to fruition, and who will win. That's all I'm saying.
All right. They might have some unexpected excitement. First Lady, over to you for more flipping.
With LeBron leaving the Lakers, should the Lakers consider trading Bronny James? Defend. Bronny showed he can be a good role player, and he's cheap. The Lakers should keep him. Spitface defend.
First Lady, good players on the cheap is a good deal. Bronny ain't making no money. And there was some times during the playoffs I think he showed that he was competent, that he's a competent role. He is not the superstar. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. Things can evolve. But right now, he's not the superstar. But he showed that he's coachable, and he could be a good role player that's worthy of being developed. So I go Lakers, keep Bronny. Bronny is not going to bring people in the stands, but he's young enough, and you can work with him where he'll fit in where he can, and that'll work out for you. Plus, he cheap. You ain't got to spend a bunch of money on it. That's what I'm saying, First Lady. He cheap.
Yeah, he is cheap. Bronny is cheap. I mean, yeah, he is cheap. Very inexpensive. I mean, they've already guaranteed his money for $2,296,271,000. So they might as well play him, right? It's cheaper to keep him. I mean, and he's improving. He's a good defensive player. He's very improving defensively. He has a very good point of attack defense, and he has effort. He actually has a good basketball IQ. He doesn't need the ball either, So, I mean, you can plug him in there to give some marginal time, and, you need roster spots. So he's only 21 years old, and he can he's serviceable. He can do his job. And if you need to send him to the G League, you can send him to the G League now because his father is gone. So his father can't put demands on you keeping him on the team roster. So you can have very flexibility with Bronny James. He can work with the G League team, and he can still play with the NBA team, you know? So, I mean, why get rid of him? Because you got to pay him this year anyway. Next year, you have the team option. So that's when you can get rid of him next year. But this year, man, you got $2 million already, $2.2 million. You need to play that, man. All right, this is Flip It. Let's flip it. Let's face it. The only reason he was on the team was his dad told him to cut bait. The Lakers should just let me read that again.
I think that was supposed to be time to cut bait.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know what it is. Let's face it. The only reason he was on the team was his dad's time to cut bait. The Lakers should say, bye-bye, Bronny, bye-bye. All right, the fence spit face.
Bye-bye, Bronny, bye-bye. Baby, Big Daddy's gone. And whether it's 1 million, 2 million, or no million, there are other players in the NBA that we can get, maybe not as cheap, but damn near close to. Bronny showed that he has potential to be a role player in the NBA, but there are a lot of players that have that kind of potential. And should the Lakers keep him? No, the Lakers need to get every player they can get that'll get them a shot at beating San Antonio and beating Oklahoma. Anybody who does not contribute to that, whether they cheap or expensive, they can't deal with. So Bronny, hey Bronny, maybe you get traded to your dad's next team. You can hang out in Cleveland, maybe even in Philadelphia. And if you're really lucky, New York with the Knicks. That's what I'm saying. It's time to cut bait, First Lady.
Well, first of all, he's not coming to the Knicks. That's out the question. So, but yeah, like you said, Faith, the Lakers really got to prioritize maximizing their chances to win a championship. And Bronny James is not going to do that for them because, as you indicated, you need roster spots, and it should matter who you have on your team because every roster spot matters, and you can't afford basically to have a developmental project, and that's what Bronny James is. He's a developmental project. He's not there to be a consistent role player. So, you know, the Lakers are in win mode now, and you got Luka Doncic, you got, you just made all these trades and free agent signing. You're paying a lot of money to people that normally you wouldn't pay that much money to. So you have to maximize every position on that team. And I'm sorry, you do have to separate yourself from Bronny. And you know what you can do? Like you said, if wherever his father is going, make a deal to send him to them and get a second-round pick. That's the best you can do. And or you try to get him to buy him out of his contract, which I don't think he's going to do. I think your best bet is to trade him. But you got to definitely send Bronny on his way and just completely wash your hand clean of Bronny James and LeBron James. That era is over, kaput. It's a done deal. That's it. All right, Spitface, over to you to take us to break.
All right, First Lady. And First Lady, sometimes you have to wash your hands to call and close that chapter. On the other side of the break, we have another performance from Joey Doyles on Shout Out Part 2. Please keep your ears glued to those speakers.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right, on the second part of Shout Out, we are featured another track from Joey Doyles and his album Hep 2. But first, lady, you were saying something during the break about how it's time for the Lakers to let Bronny move on.
Bye.
And I just wanted you to be able to complete your thought.
Yeah, road trip shit. You already know, niggas. Doesn't go. F, nigga. Smart. Let's go. Boy, fire. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I think it's better you know. The money ain't come easy, I inspired the dough. Heart of a gorilla, vision of a crow. To them haters back home, they can thank me for they flow. When I was dropping, they was listening. When I was flipping, they was tricking. It's easy to see I'm different. I was winning, they was ditching, but couldn't afford to scratch off. 100-round hollow tip drum, bet they back off. They told me I wouldn't make it. They told me I wasn't ready. They told me I wasn't heavy, but we all know that's a lie. I see the shark, then I jump it. Headed in their direction. I'm swimming up just to check them. Surfacing in the middle, I could tell that they all surprised. They wanna know where I'm from. They wanna know where's my gun. They wanna know what I've done, but that's all behind me now. So I let them know what I'm doing. Started hustling music. Cut out all the excuses. I ain't cruising. 110 on the 110. Everything is a blur, but I ain't pumping the brakes, and I ain't taking no breaks. Found a way to escape. I'm keeping food on the plate, ripping, riding the bass while I'm weaving, bobbing the case, dipping, dodging the fakes. It's easy to get embraced. 12 on the chase. I would smoke with you, but that weed probably lace. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I think it's better you know. The money ain't come easy. I inspired the dough. Heart of a gorilla, vision of a crow. To them haters back home, they can thank me for they flow. When I was dropping, they was listening. When I was flipping, they was tricking. It's easy to see I'm different. I was winning, they was itching, but couldn't afford to scratch off. 100-round hollow tip drum, bet they back off. GPS under the car, so I keep it parked. I done been to places where you couldn't even walk. I done spoke in rooms where you couldn't even talk. $1 million deals, getting clothes, playing golf. I'ma bring that briefcase with me, just make sure it's raw. Cause I done rose above, I'm talking back against the wall. I'm coming for it all like I'm the one that drew the straw. 20 seconds on the clock, they screaming, give me the ball. Win or lose, let my team know that it's on me. I feel sorry for them niggas tryna harm me. My white Jonah, human Bobby. Better ask about me, my hunters old as Atari. Better pay attention, they ever tell you my story. True hustler, I'm pulling up in Ferraris. They show respect like they talking to Marcus Garvey. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I think it's better you know. The money ain't come easy, I inspired the dough. Heart of a gorilla, vision of a crow. To them haters back home, they can thank me for they flow. When I was dropping, they was listening. When I was flipping, they was tricking. It's easy to see I'm different. I was winning, they was itching, but couldn't afford to scratch off. 100-round hollow tip drum, bet they back off. You know, the money ain't come easy. I inspired the dough. Heart of a gorilla, vision of a crow. To them haters back home, they can thank me for they flow. When I was dropping, they was listening. When I was flipping, they was tricking. It's easy to see I'm different. I was winning, they was itching, but couldn't afford to scratch off. 100-round hollow tip drum, bet they back off.
All right, that was Joey Doyles, and the name of the track, I think is Hefty, Hefe. If I got that wrong, sorry, Joey. Actually, it's the title track, Hef 2. First lady, what's the verdict? Is Hef 2 getting a shout out or the mute button?
No, I'm gonna shout it out. Like I said, he's a very good lyricist. You know, he knows how to rap. And his rapping is excellent. And, you know, I just don't like the use of the N-word, but that's all right. You know how these rappers do today. So, but it is what it is. But I'm definitely going to shout it out. Definitely shouting it out.
Yeah. Personally, I got to give the man a shout out. He got skills. He's got skills. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him more mainstream down the road. I can see that. He got skills. Well, that is the end of Shout Out. You can check out Joey Doyles on the Old Grumpy Radio Network. If you would like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent@oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, over to you.
All right. Well, we're going to have the hardball picks coming in October. And just again, congratulations to Dizzy Mack for winning the basketball picks. All right. Spitface, what is your top story to watch this week?
Well, the two main things I'm watching are, of course, the World Cup, because I'm going, here's our Argentina, and they discriminate against black folks. And here's Spain. Hell, they were the ones with the slave trade.
They do have black people on their team, though.
Yeah, so it's like, oh my God, So what I'm rooting for is that it be a good game, and it's gonna be it's a week. I think training camp starts in a week. It's gonna be some surprise moves. So my eye is gonna be on the NFL.
Okay, you're on the NFL. Well, you know what? Even though I'm already basically tired of this man, but everybody wants to know who's going to sign LeBron James. That's what I'm watching. That's the top story to watch this week. Even though I'm LeBron James out. I mean, really I am. I'm so sick and tired of LeBron James. But that is the big story, so we got to call it what it is. All right, check out our current and previous episodes at BrasPantiesAndSports.com. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.